Hello everyone and welcome to the UK National 2016 final. My name is Johno and I'm joined by Chris Dyer. Hello Chris.
Hi Johno.
And Joe. How's it going, Joe?
Not too bad, thank you.
And we're here to watch Vikash Sharma come out the winners bracket, play as CTM against Tim Fowler who came out the losers bracket, as we just saw. It's fair to say that tensions are running fairly high.
Yeah,
as
the end of that last game was pretty intense.
That was intense, yeah. We had a short break so everyone could recover. And 155, was it, people? Have now become just 2. Okay, all right. So, let's try and focus on the actual game. CTM against Whizzard. Now, you mentioned in the previous games we saw Whizzard against IG. There's a lot of CTM hate in this deck. Do you expect him to do fairly well?
It depends if he draws it. So
yeah,
Tim's mulligan.
So he's going to mulligan.
Tim really wants to draw hate and money. One of them almost isn't enough, because if you draw your hate, you can run and trash the assets, but you're still vulnerable to hard-hitting news.
Yes.
If Tim doesn't draw money, he will still want to run and trash the assets and bet against Vic drawing the hard-hitting news.
Sure.
If you let sensies and commercial bankers run, you almost certainly lose later down the line anyway.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay, so that's fair. So he needs economic support. He's going to pressure remotes, of course.
So Tim needs a good hand.
Yeah. Okay. And on the left-hand side, we've got Vikash. What's his line here?
So his ideal first turn is probably hedge or sweeps or ice one of the essentials and then play a sensies and a commercial bankers. That's what he'd love to do. I don't know if he's drawn it. He has drawn his Astro.
So he's going to install a couple of remotes. After a draw, okay. Oh, and
there we go.
Sure, okay.
So this match goes one of two ways for Tim. Either he can control the assets, he can.
Okay, so he does not draw on a pad. He's going to. Oh, he leaves the pad.
He leaves the pad, yeah.
But he trusted the bankers for sure. He's going to face the trace for a tag as well,
which you'll have to take and clear. So Tim hasn't drawn. Tim hasn't drawn his hate, which is important.
Yeah. So we're going to res the pad. Okay.
So he's already down on money.
Okay.
So if Vic has drawn hard-hitting news, this is really bad for Tim, and he almost certainly has to go tag me straight away. But there's only 2 hard-hitting news in the typical CTM list. So Tim's line, which we've discussed through many games of testing, is trash the cards anyway. Bet against them having the hard-hitting news. If they do, you play around it later, but you have to hope they don't get it.
Sure. I mean that makes sense.
You can't, but you can't let a bankers group run because they'll have all the money they need
later.
Yeah.
Okay, so
how many credits does Tim have now? 7?
Tim has 7 by the look of it,
sure.
and Vikash has 8. We're going to get an install. Obviously, we won't know if Vikash has hard-hitting news until click 3. He did install though, so it's not like he's going to sweep hedge into it or anything like that.
So Vikash is a very deliberate player. So a few times in his previous games I've watched him, and I thought that because he seemed to be making a decision, I thought the obvious route was off the table. It turns out he's just thinking through all the lines to make sure before he does that devastating play. So. If Tim had taken this long, I'd have said he doesn't have a hard-hitting news. He may do.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's having a good think.
He's very deliberate.
I'm not sure what the decision is here.
So where's Vikash from? Sorry.
Vikash is from Nottingham.
He's from Nottingham.
Right.
Bankers, okay, so that's a trash and a tag and a clear tag, I guess.
It will have to be clear tag, yep.
So click 1 run, click 2 clear tag. I think you drew actually.
Well, there's 2 closed accounts in this list, probably, right? So
there'll be 2 closed accounts, but you need to score breaking news to do that. So Tim will try and keep Vikash's money down early. At some point, Whizzard sometimes has to go tag me and just medium dig R&D. If the board gets out of control, that's what he'll have to do. Ideally, he'd like to control the board before that. This is the second danger.
So we've got 2 ice and an install. Now you spotted before they drawn his Astro. Do you expect that to be an Astro? And he's not going to be able to get in.
I think it probably is, yeah.
So double daily cast and hope.
So Tim actually would rather this was an Astro than a breaking news all seeing eye.
Turntable.
Tim does have turntable, yes.
Yeah, very nice. Is that the only console?
Yes,
one turntable. One turntable. Okay,
interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so it's
it
called
is the Astro, yeah.
Not too surprising.
That's not the end of the world for Tim.
No. So now I guess Vic is going to score out of hand, start scoring out of hand.
So there's a couple of lines here. If Tim's drawn turntable, he will play it and start to poke centrals and try and get rid of that Astro, because that Astro enables a lot of breaking news plays.
Yeah,
that's true. That's the real risk.
Tim takes a GFI or something, then he's in trouble, right?
Yes.
That's a serious problem.
Okay. Is there a medium in this list or any kind of R&D?
Two
pressure?
mediums.
So dropping medium running R&D 3 times, for
Yeah,
instance, would be pretty
and
strong.
a lot of the games that we won as Whizzard against CTM, that's the line you end up taking. Sometimes you do it without any risk because you control the board. Sometimes you've gone tag me, at which point you are fighting against giant resistors.
Okay, so we've got an install and a res of a Jackson in the outside remote. Undefended, he's going to use it on 2. Looking for a gender, I guess. If he gets a beard or something, he just sticks it in the remote, right? I mean, there's not currently any threat from Tim.
No.
You rush.
We don't know what the ice is, but he could install a new remote instead. We don't know what the ice is, but the breaker suite is Faust, David.
He has 3 Faust, 2 David, 1 Corroder, 1 Mimic,
okay,
and 2 Parasite.
So I can play Strike, interesting, and then run. It's going to start checking remotes. Okay, that's nice. So he's going to trash that for $2, 2 Whiz bucks, and no Trace. You can trash Pad as well.
Yep.
For 3 real credits, because yes, that's good.
CTM just play a lot of expensive ice, so they play 2 Toll Boosts, they play an Archangel.
So it's 8. So the money differential. So hard hitting news still on 9.
Especially
if he sweeps or something.
Wizard's on 9, so even if he takes the hard hitting news, he's going to get 4 from cast as well, so he can clear tags, but he can't beat the Trace. He doesn't check. He draws instead of hitting the Jackson.
That was good, aggressive but correct play by Tim, I think, right?
Yeah, so the danger here is that score breaking news closed accounts sets Tim back a long way.
Hello viewers, Johno from the present day here. We had some issues on the stream, so the commentary went down. So I'm here just to take you through the next few turns. So at the start of this turn, Vikash used the Jackson to return 3 commercial bankers groups. Obviously, Tim had done a lot of good work, really pressuring the economic assets that CTM was laying down. So Vic is going to use the opportunity here to return 3 of the most potent, obviously, to his deck. He's kind of... Tim did make a couple of runs on the previous turn, and he is floating quite low. The money's quite close. He nearly ran the Jackson, but decided not to because he thought the money was too close, and he's worried about the hard-hitting news threat. Now, of course, he does have the money to either fight the Trace or clear the tags, should that happen. But the money now is kind of close, especially the hedge fund. So after an optional draw and hedge fund, we may see a hard-hitting news on click 3. Vic's having a good think. Yeah, the money advantage is with him, but obviously it's quite taxing. Tim is going to get 4 credits from daily casts. I'm not sure what else is on Vic's agenda. He might consider icing centrals. Maybe he's looking fairly open, and if Tim gets any kind of threat, say medium, that kind of thing, any kind of real access threat, then could cause some real problems. So he does have hard-hitting news, and he's having a good think about it. Yeah, this looks like hard-hitting math to me. So let's see, it's going to cost him a few credits to play. He's going to be able to boost the Trace. He will be able to boost it out of range of Tim, but it will cost quite a lot to do so. He could also just throw it down and not boost it, just as a kind of economic setback. Tim would pretty much be forced to fight the Trace. So we are getting hard-hitting news. So Tim can possibly fight the Trace here if Vic doesn't boost it too much. I mean, so there's 2 ways you can go here, I guess. As Vic, you can not boost it at all and let Tim just fight the Trace and have it as an economic setback for Tim, although it's not huge. So he's going to boost it to 6. That's 10 to force the 4 tags. Okay, so on Tim's turn, he's going to get 4 from daily costs. He does have those 4 tags, and quick decision from him is just going to clear all 4 tags. That's pretty reasonable, I think. I mean, if you can't fight the Trace, then spending your entire turn and 4 clicks and 8 credits to clear tags isn't too unreasonable. So both sides are now set back a bit economically, but because Tim did have those 2 daily costs, he's definitely recovered faster, and he's now able to drop turntable. He's going to go into HQ. See, close to accounts. Okay, so while there's only 4 credits on the corpse side now, there's less threat of any. Okay, so he's pulled a global food. He does take the Astro with the counter. Does give up 3 points to Vic, but obviously, so he's now down 1 point. It's a really interesting decision, actually. If the extra point is more valuable to the Corp than the Astro token, and because of breaking news and the powerful cards that it allows, it may well be that the Astro Counter is the more powerful thing. Anyway, with that all done, and with the start of this next turn, I will hand you now back over to past Johno, Joey, and Chris. Sorry guys, we had some technical problems, we're back online now. So let's very quickly summarise what happened while we had a data outage. We've got, still on the left hand side, Vikash. He did score an Astro previously, we believe that was visible on stream. And on the right hand side, there's a bit of build up, but Tim installed Turntable, ran, stole a GFI and swapped it for an Astro. The strike's still in play, and we did have a hard-hitting news bit, or at least a bin of hard-hitting news bit. It looks like Tim was able to survive it. He does have a decent amount of money and liberated. Given the current state, the board state, Chris, what do you think about who's kind of winning?
So Tim's in a good place. The difficulty of playing against CTM is at any moment it can hit you with a really, really swingy play. So Tim has money at the moment, he's got points. If Vikash can leverage a scored breaking news and do something with it, then Tim could suddenly be set way back, and that's the challenge with CTM.
Yeah, okay, sure. So there's 2 Ross and R&D now, so what's Tim's plan? How does he approach this? Does he build up for a little bit more and then start to poke HQ?
So Vikash is low on money, so
that's true.
He probably can't really threaten a remote yet. Anything that goes in a remote, I expect... Tim's got no breaker still, but I think Tim still probably runs. There's only a couple of ice that you don't want to hit.
Okay, all right. I think we're back online.
Point.
Oh, yeah,
we're going to add the points now. So we've been doing a lot of things, so we will update the points.
Stuff, right, so I've got the points now. So that means that Corp's on 3. Interesting. But no Astro counter, so relevant.
Yeah, so much more relevant. And also Tim not having the GFI. Also, of course, if Vikash does manage to fast advance and breaking news and exchange of information, he can get his Astro counter
back. That's true. So this is interesting. So he's trashing that first ice, and that either means he can't afford to res that's something expensive like a toll booth.
Yeah. Which could be. Okay, we've got Corroda Instincts.
Corroda is very strong in this match because
there's only 4 credits, so we're expecting Wraps and Vanillas. No, well, Wraps.
Resistor,
of course, for sure. Oh, of course. So we've got no res on the outside, and we've got Reservoir Resistor.
Yeah,
just one
this may be a Sansan
access, and it's a breaking news. Which can turntable for a GFI. Oh, this is pretty good. Oh, that's going very well. Okay.
Vikash may actually have been too low on credits to try that.
Maybe he was just hoping that Wizard. Tim wouldn't run it, so wait, Tim was on 4, okay.
So it went from 3 to 2 to 1 to 4. Turntable, it's all nonsense.
It is nonsense.
It's all nonsense.
Is that right? So wait, we've got breaking news and Astro, okay, good. Right.
Yep.
Okay, it's fine.
So Vikash scored an Astro, it became a GFI, and then it became a breaking news, all without scoring another agenda.
And then a breaking news became the GFI again, yeah that's right.
So Tim is now a long way up.
Yeah,
he's a long way up. He's got 5 points. He's got an
Astro counter.
The thing is, the GFI is a liability.
No one finds that funny.
The breaking news for EOI for GFI is real, but he only needs 1 lucky access to win, right? So here comes the wild side.
Interesting.
Well, we might see a Faust very shortly, and presumably maybe a medium and start to barrage R&D.
So this is a sign how confident Tim feels. You don't play wild side in this matchup until you feel you are set, you're economically ahead, and you're well balanced for the game.
That's true, because it can be trashed.
It's a huge economic hit if it gets trashed.
Yeah. Okay.
So Tim right now feels really comfortable.
Yeah. Okay. For sure.
This is all flowing from the fact that the employee strike has let Tim trash all Vikash's economic assets.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so that's true. Normally, a CTM player in this, a CTM player approaching this matchup would try and get a lot of remotes down and get them out, and just try to develop economic superiority. But the employee strike has entirely removed the ID, removed the taxing effect of the traces of the tags in this game.
Yeah. So Vikash now has a hard-hitting news.
Slack's asking if Vikash has a handle that we know him by. It's not Vikash.
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
I don't believe he's online.
Okay.
He's not online at all, isn't he?
I don't. No.
We don't know his. So we don't know his.
No, we'll find out. No,
so
I've met him before. He was at the Expo Regional for sure. And I mean, he's got this far. He's obviously gone to a few tournaments.
So I think he's made a few top 8s at regionals this year. So he's quite a consistent player.
Yeah. Okay. From the Midlands. Sorry, so I don't know. Judge asking me to stop. Just one more click. Okay. This is from breaking news by the look of it. Does he have So I thought he's an Astro in hand, but of course he can't.
He has a Beal, I believe.
Yeah. Interesting. He's not in a position to score. Okay, all right. So let's see what we've got in the remote. We've got breaking news. So I think he just scored it out of hand. Scored the breaking news out of hand to kill the strike. That might give him an advantage as he can start to install remotes.
It does, but the chances are by now Tim has drawn one of his other strike or one of his 2 slums. Yeah. So now that Tim is well set, he can start to attack R&D.
Yeah. So Vic only here only has 4 credits, so he's going to install. Tim's going to install the medium and goes to town R&D. He might get a few accesses. He's going to raise anything.
Tannoy.
He's going to raise an Archangel. Let's see what Tim's going to do about this. He doesn't have a breaker, so it's going to be a trace. But he did spend his money to res, so it's trace 6, I think. Trace 6, something like that. It's a high trace. So
Tim will let this bounce something.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you pick up. Maybe is it the pancakes? Maybe or the wild side. It will cost him a turn of 2 draws.
It might be the medium,
even with no counters.
Yeah, because he has to replay it. So if you let the medium go,
it's still 3 credits. You're right. Okay, sure. Okay.
And then it'll have a counter on it for next time if he can break it.
Okay. So he's going to get access. Didn't see what it was, but obviously not on agenda that he can still.
So they're both low on credits. Tim has no credits on the board, so he has no resources he can get credits from. Vic has no credits at all.
Yeah, that's true. So, it's a good point. All the Arsenal R&D is now raised, and it's the Archangel. So if Tim can get David down, we may well see.
But Hard-Hitting News is now back in play, potentially if Vic can get his credits up. So he might need something like a Sweet Squeak to burst up quickly. Yeah, but if he's got it, he can potentially start to hit a Hard-Hitting News, which changes this game.
Tim has 8. So in that instance, would he just clear 4 tags for his turn?
I think he
trace,
would.
right? Because the trace is less than 8.
Yeah.
So he'd just play the trace. Okay.
Yeah.
So just to remind our viewers that Tim has come up from the losers bracket. So if Tim does win this game and he's in an okay position, there will be another game. So we'll have another, and then that'll be Tim playing CTM against Vikash's Kate.
Yeah, it's playing Kate. So the reverse will be CTM Kate. Should we get that? Yeah. So GFI.
GFI, and that's the game.
No, it's not.
That's 6.
Oh, sorry, GFI's a broken card. Yeah.
I got so excited.
Calm down, Joey.
But there's at least one more in there.
Yes,
in my head, Tim already had 5. I'd already forgotten GFI worked the way it did the whole way through this. Okay.
Yeah, I only swapped out the scores.
So
in fact, I swapped out the breaking news.
I've been a little bit tuned out. I've been chatting to Slack. Tim still have the money advantage?
Yep.
Okay, so he's got the money advantage, and
so he had
even got wild cakes online.
He had a narrow advantage. Then he played a gamble last turn, so that lead's gone up again. So
I mean, with wild cakes on the line in this matchup and having a money advantage, that's pretty nuts, right?
So the only difficulty is he can't really run R&D here until he finds a David. So
sure. And then he gets 3 solid runs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He's got the medium in hand, we know, as well.
So he can install medium, install David, run twice. Is that worth it? Or maybe he installs the medium.
If not, if you go low on money.
Yeah, of course. So he needs to keep the money up. Yeah, for sure. Okay.
So Vic only has 1 breaking news left in the deck, and that's also important because a lot of your swingiest plays come from scoring a breaking news and then doing something with it.
Yeah, that is relevant.
He's got how many Sands do you think in the
I
deck?
believe he may be on 2.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 Sands, 1 breaking news left, and I mean, I think it's going to be hard for him to sneak out.
He can't. He's going to be hard to sneak out, and he can't afford the Sansan currently, so he's going to have to money up first.
And he has to find the last one. So it's all of his outs that sort of give him the favour is swing the tempo back his way are pretty tenuous at this point. Tim just has to play smart, stay rich, and get that last access.
Vic resing this Data Raven on HQ shows that he's worried about what's in his hand.
Yes.
Data Raven doesn't tax the runner when you hit it; they just jack out. So Vic has sacrificed all his money again. He's given up trying to catch Tim on money to bring Hard-Hitting News online to protect his HQ.
Does that mean Tim now just sort of goes, okay, I know where the game is, I just maybe wait for Parasite?
Tim still doesn't need to panic. So Parasite is an option. It does trigger CTM, which is irritant.
Yeah, but 1 credit versus 15.
Exactly.
So that's not a problem. He can even pay through the trace if he wants his clicks worth more to him than 2 credits. Then he's got options now. I think you're right.
Very similar to the last game, actually. As long as Tim keeps his money up and doesn't do anything crazy, he's in such a strong position that
Sure.
he should be fine. CTM often wins when the runner makes a play that is wrong because it hurts their money
yeah,
credit.
for sure.
And
But Tim knows this matchup much better because
Exactly,
he's playing CTM
so
himself.
this is the matchup.
He knows what he's doing.
This is the matchup that Tim has tested most extensively.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good.
so David comes down. So now Tim's going to be really able to pressure this Archangel on R&D. He's got the corridor across the resistor, so it's going to same old. Is he thinking about same old?
Same old spooned, most likely.
Spooned. Of course, yeah, that's pretty good.
Nice.
Okay. All right, so he's going to leave that now. But if this challenge doesn't get a response, I wouldn't be surprised to see Sandstall medium next turn.
Yeah,
and
so
maybe-
he'd like the medium down before he same old spoons because then he gets the counter for the run.
Yeah, so medium same old spoons, and then you get another one on R&D for only 1 credit, and you kind of set up.
And then you
R&D
just
pretty secure.
and then
You've
he
got 2
will
David
try and
counters.
dig R&D until he wins at that
That's
point.
right, and Vic only has 4 credits, so he's not going to be able to res a lot of ice if he gets something down.
Absolute minimum, even if you ignore spoon, he drops medium, runs R&D 3 times.
Yeah.
Like that's still a great.
So
play,
this is
right?
Tim's endgame threat. This is how Tim thinks he will win the game.
And he only needs 1 point. If he was on 4 now and he did 2 agendas, he still.
He would still take the same line actually. Yeah,
But needing 1 point means he'd have to be very unlucky to not win, seeing 4 or 5 cards.
And he knows he can break the remote. So that remote is 1 credit. There is the worst ice for him there would be Data Raven, but he can run through it if he feels he needs to.
Or if Vikash still on 4 credits, he just jacks and goes, "You've got no money."
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it,
So there's almost no way for Vikash to score at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his out is. He's going to continue installing remotes.
So-
do you assume Whizzard's going to run? Tim's going to run this outside remote?
Yeah, so Vikash's best out is possibly
slums
just
as well,
to
okay.
force him through this remote
He's going
as
to run
many times as possible.
So he's going to whiz trash
he'll slums
that remote from the game as well.
Wow.
Which also avoids the CTM.
Yes.
The strike obviously gone.
So now CTM will not fire again. The first time has passed, yet the trace was avoided.
That's true.
So
Yes.
So he's going to run the remote, and he's going to get him for just 1 credit and access. Red herrings, wow, which he can trash. That's
might as well.
That's quite
Why
a
not?
splash.
It's
I
a
like it.
Whizbug,
So,
right?
so
trash
Red
it.
Herring is in the initial list that was posted by the Big Boy.
Oh, really? It was okay.
That was his first card. I believe he told everyone not to cut it, and a lot of people proceeded to cut it.
Yeah. No, I mean, so I'm not familiar with this list, but it's nice cards.
Yeah,
It is,
the
but
great
card
advantage
slots.
against CTM. Obviously, you can't trash a Red Herrings without taking a tag. So
Right. So things that are really bad to trash are what CTM is good at, right? That's why the political assets are just
So this is the second time Vic has replaced this outside ice.
wow.
Yeah, he does keep replacing us. So that's something he doesn't want to res. So I
So
wonder
when
what
he
it
was
is.
richer, maybe he made it a Data Raven, thinking that would be secure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think.
Maybe it was an Archangel and he didn't want to because of the David
Or
threat.
he's almost certainly on 1 Archangel.
Okay, all right.
really? Okay.
So maybe it's a
Which
high
we've
piece.
seen.
Maybe it was maybe a high strength thing, or a second resistor, which he thinks isn't worth it because he's not going to land any tags. I'm not sure.
But you probably keep a resistor there.
Yeah,
just
that's
to
true. You
tax
can raise a
him
resistor.
credit.
So
Yeah,
it's something he can't
It's
afford.
potentially
or
a
is it worth
wraparound. Maybe he feels a wraparound isn't a fair exchange because he's paying 2.
it? 2, yeah. I mean,
Tim's
it's
breaking it for
possible.
1, and he
Yeah.
really needs to get more money than Tim here. That's the only way he's got left to win is a hard hit news, I think.
So if he can stick a hard hitting news when if Tim isn't careful,
Yeah.
they can. He can stick a tag for his turn and then what? EOI?
So if
2 EOI maybe.
if he can keep some tags on Tim by the time it's Vic's turn again, which is difficult because if Tim has 8 credits, he'll just clear them. He can do all sorts of all-seeing eye and EOI is a good line because that will put him on to 4 points, Tim down to 5. Close the counts is also strong, but that relies on Tim not clearing the tags. This is why hard hitting news is at the same time devastating and sometimes quite annoying because you can't do anything with the tags until the runner's had a chance to respond.
Yeah. So as long as Tim stays at 8,
As long as Tim stays at 8,
probably
yeah.
fine.
Yeah. As long as he decides to clear them.
Or if you can beat the trace. I mean, Vic only has 5 now, 6 credits. So even if you can play it, he can't boost the trace much. So
the first thing Vic has to do is get as many or more credits than Tim.
yeah, I agree. Okay. So I mean, what are the numbers? It's 3 to place trace 4, right? So at this point, you just beat the trace unless Tim's on very low money. You just boost. He can't boost the trace enough for Tim to recover, and he's not going to take 8. Okay, so remove cards being moved together. Which does obscure. So is that 2 Jacksons out of the game? I guess so. And obviously the bankers.
So that Red Herrings is a strange card to shuffle because Tim has a slums in play, so he's not going to trigger CTM.
Maybe
Is
he's
he
hoping
worried
to
that-
tax him 5 credits for an access.
but if
You
he
can't
pays
tax
the
him for
five-
you can't tax him for agenda because Tim will win.
Yeah.
He-
If Tim accesses an agenda, it's like you have to pay 5 extra, which is great if you're going to get hard-hitting used afterwards, but he
Yeah.
won't because the game will end.
And it's made his R&D more porous.
Yeah. So now if he digs deep, he's just going to trash that on the way through. I think you probably take...
I would have
Dunno.
shuffled as much Operation Econ in as you can.
Is it
Sure,
just is it
to
just
burst up
something?
for, yeah.
Is it just something he can install on that remote? Is he having to tax out? Just install and
He
pull it once?
can, but you can check all sorts of it. So if this card here is a Sensi or a CTM, a commercial bankers group, that should go in the remote, not by the side, because
bait the run.
Tim is going to run it whatever. So you may as well tax him to do
If
it.
he's going to get trashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never going to fire, put it that way.
Exactly. So you may as well run him through a remote, and that's what CTM could do.
Click
Yes.
1, no reason not to.
Pad. So Pad definitely could have gone on the
So Tim
remote.
would have trashed it anyway. Pad definitely could have done, yeah.
So unless you're going to install 2 things, or one, you always install everything in that
So
remote.
you will cost Tim at least an extra credit plus whatever the outside ice is every
and then
time
if
he
that's
has
a
to do
data
that.
raven, that's actually
Yeah,
taxing.
and that's how you get your lead. And Tim probably has to run through a data raven here because the third breaking news is enough of a threat that Tim wants to respond.
Forked, clear the
Yeah, so
tag, or access.
He's already trashed something this turn, so he shouldn't take a tag. He takes one tag from the data raven, but not from CTM. Yeah, that's right. So he'll access and then he'll clear the tag.
Yeah, and that's it.
Okay.
Or he'll
Wow,
win.
well played. All right. So as a reminder, Tim Copley loses bucket, so we are going to see a game 2. We might as well stay on the stream while these guys turn around and set up game 2. I'm just going to update the graphics.
So this will be Tim will be playing CTM against Vikash's Kate for the grand final of the UK Nationals 2016.
Yeah.
Quite exciting.
Ooh, that's going to be exciting.